Good afternoon. Today we're going to go through some examples of using the InfoGroup data. The InfoGroup data is a very powerful analysis tool that has revenue, locations, and employee count across geography, down to the zip code level, and across NAICS codes for a total 2, 4, and 6-digit NAICS code. So let me give a little bit of background about this data. InfoGroup has a call facility in Omaha where they make over 2 million calls to businesses annually. And they end up with a data file that has very detailed data on the location, the contact information, who owns the company. But what's important for us is they also have the industry by NAICS code, as well as the count of companies, the total revenue, and the employee count. And given the location, we have created an implementation of their data that allows you to look at any industry across any geography. So if you look at our indicators, we've broken them down into 3 groups. We have industry detail, where we look at company count, revenue, and employee count. And the company count is really location. The industry summary, which is slightly different, and I'll show you why we've broken that out. And then a company hierarchy, where we show you the structure of a multi-level company and all of the locations, the revenue, employee count, and market share for those companies. So let's look at our example here, where we're looking at, let's look at revenue, and let's search for full-service restaurants. Actually, we'll do the higher level restaurants and other eating places. And so here we can tell you, in the state of Alabama, here's the trend of revenue generated for restaurants and other eating places, or how many people are employed. And if we wanted to rank, we can rank by state, by county, by zip code, and of course the bottom one here will rank not in the state that's selected, but in every county in the country gets aggregated for this ranking. So very powerful to be able to analyze all the way down to the zip code level and look at where revenue is generated, where employment, what drives the economy and the employment. If we go down a little deeper, let's look at this industry summary. And again, we can do a location count, revenue, and employees. And if you notice with the detail, our NAICS codes, we're looking at the total. We're looking at 2, 4, and 6-digit NAICS codes. And so you have summaries as well as rolled up data in these NAICS codes. And so the reason we generated this set of analysis is because we're only looking at 4-digit NAICS code. And that allows us to answer a very important question, which is, when you look at a geography, what is the industry that drives that geography? So for example, let's do a ranking by state. And so here we can see, let's go back and look at our restaurants. We can rank restaurants by geography, and we can also do that in detail. But if you change the rank by to look by industry, now I can select the nation, state, or county, and I can look at a cross-section of the revenue and the employment for, in this case, the state of Alabama. So machinery, equipment, and supplies, at least based on revenue, is the largest, most significant revenue generator in the state of Alabama. Or if I go lower, Chautauqua County, most of the revenue comes from the automobile dealerships. Or if I wanted to look at employee count, the largest employers are the elementary and secondary schools in Chautauqua County. So because these NAICS codes are standardized to all be 4 characters, it's very important to be able to look at a geography. And so by using this rank by pull down, we can change the rank by to industry and look at any geography. The last set of data here is deals with multi-leveled companies. So if I wanted to look at, let's go nationwide and look at 1-800-Flowers. So I can see here, as I scroll down, 1-800-Flowers owns Cheryl & Company, Conroy's, Fannie Mae, Flowerama, and NAPCO, and the Popcorn Factory. So I can see by state where their revenue is generated. I can also narrow down, so I can see for all the companies that 1-800-Flowers owns, here are the NAICS codes where they drive revenue, and then here are all the actual locations. So if I wanted to focus in on Flowerama, Flowerama drives most of their revenue in the state of Ohio. So again, if I use my rank by here and sort by location and go to Ohio, here are all the locations of Flowerama in the state of Ohio and the revenue that they generate. Now, because of the size of this data, we only have the most recent time frame available, so we don't do trending with this hierarchical data. Also, you can search system-wide. So here I'm going to search on Burger King. And so I've come up with a couple of hits. So let me turn these on. Now this is pulling back a big section of data, but I can see here that 3G Capital owns Burger King, Heinz, H.A. Heinz Company, Heinz North America, and Portion Pack. So got Burger King selected, so I can look at, let's go back and change this to state. Where does Burger King drive its revenue by state? And it makes sense that it would be California. Or within the state of California, what counties are most significant? And so for any parent company or subsidiary, I can look at geographically where they drive most of their revenue, and I can also get to the actual location. So if I wanted to see in California, and I wanted to rank and look at it by location, so in Alameda County, here are all of the locations. Here is the revenue that they generate. And then we've added a last indicator here. Because we know the total, we aggregate the total by a NAICS code, we can give you market share. We can divide out the site's revenue by the total of the county for that industry to give you the percent market share. So I can see that each of these stores, here is their percent market share in Alameda County. Or in the state, and I would expect that to start to get very small. If I go back to state, I can see Burger King as a whole and their market share statewide. So in Nevada, that's the state where they are doing the best. Here is the market share for Burger King in their NAICS code of specialty food services or restaurants and other eating places in and here's their market share in that industry. Thank you very much.